Hello and welcome back to Memorial Stadium, a cold Memorial Stadium after, can you believe, spring football practice is here, even though, we got snow and ice outside. I am Greg Smith, recruiting extraordinaire for Hail Varsity, joined by staff writer Steve Marik, and we heard from some coaches and players today. We got defensive coordinator Eric Chenander, defensive backs coach Travis Fisher, we got Chris Kolarevic, the newly minted nickel, and we also got Marquis Buford, the defensive back who's been playing safety a lot this spring for Nebraska. So, Steve, I guess what were your high-level thoughts about what we heard today?
Yeah, well, I'm going to stick with the nickel. It's just a position that has always kind of interested me, just the diversity there. They brought up Chris Kolarevic, and he is working now with the nickels, like you mentioned. And at 6'1" and 230 pounds, he kind of seems like that JoJo type body, which, with the kind of two other, top contenders with that nickel position, Isaac Gifford and then Javen Wright, the big 6'4" lanky Javen Wright. Yep. He's a different body type than those other two guys. So it's really interesting to see him talk about like kind of what he's good at and what he's maybe not so good at, and that kind of helps Eric Chenander out, figuring out how to figure his defense to account for those deficiencies and things like that. So I know, Greg, you were interested in Marquis Buford and kind of working with the corners and safeties, basically.
Yeah, he was really interesting today. First of all, you can completely see why Travis Fisher describes him as being mature for his age, even though Fisher referred to him repeatedly as an old guy in the room, considering he has one full year under his belt at Nebraska. But you could definitely see that from his, 10-minute media session today. He has been working, or had worked in the offseason at both cornerback and safety, but he did say that he's exclusively on the field, at least, been playing at safety this year so far in the 4 practices in the spring, and so he noted that he has to be the quarterback of the defense, and he talked in great detail about how much extra film work he's had to do to kind of get prepared for that, especially with some of those guys that have departed from the team from last year, which has been really interesting, seeing him also step into that leadership role as a quote-unquote older young guy. That part of it to me is really interesting, and you got to also spend some extra time with Travis Fisher, right? Was there anything with him that kind of stuck out to you?
Well, I wanted to ask Travis was last year Marquis Buford did an excellent job as a gunner on the punt coverage units, and that obviously resonates with Travis because he wants he wants the starters to be on special teams. He wants people to play on special teams, to want to play on special teams, and then you can kind of open the door for more playing time on defense, actually. And Marquis Buford, his first year on campus, he absolutely did that. So it's going to be really interesting. And he came and talked and sounded like he said a lot of good things, was very comfortable in that setting too, which was very cool to see. So yeah, Marquis Buford is absolutely one to watch in the defensive secondary. That is, like Eric Chenander talked about last week, they're going to want to figure that out because there's a lot of open spots right now with Quentin Newsome kind of coming back and maybe cementing himself at one of the corner spots, and then Miles Farmer at safety. There's some other spots open, so it's going to be a fun battle to watch.
Yeah, we heard a lot of good things from today's post-practice availability. We'll be back again on Wednesday for more post-practice fun. That day we'll have Coach Scott Frost, Mark Whipple, maybe the quarterbacks as well. We'll see how that goes. But until then, you can keep it locked on hailvarsity.com, and we'll have you completely covered from all of the football that we're seeing so far in spring football. We'll catch you next time.